All right, traders, this is a massive update in markets. We've seen a 15,000 pip move in the Argentine peso. I'm going to be breaking down exactly what went on there. Last week, we mentioned that we might see some upside momentum continuing on the CHF and the yen, and we have. And for this week, we do like a euro dollar opportunity. We're going to be breaking down that pair. Let's talk about it, folks. Roll the intro. All right, traders, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Top Trader channel. It's your head trader here, Cleveland Bishop. Markets just opened up maybe about an hour or so ago, and there is a lot going on today, okay? So I want to be updating you guys on some of the things that are happening in emerging markets, and of course, some of the correlations that we're still seeing right now in our major pairs, okay? So if you guys are new to the channel, what's up, folks? Welcome. Here at the Top Trader, we like to focus on fundamentals. Fundamentals are the backbone as to why all asset prices move, and so the more you understand fundamentals, the more you're gonna have an idea as to why we are seeing our currency fluctuations. Today's a prime example, okay? Today we had a massive fundamental trade in a sense that basically played out on the Argentine peso. Okay, so right now Argentina is going through a very interesting and volatile election process, and what just recently happened, the Populist Party in Argentina right now, they're making a comeback, okay, and so they're likely to win the election, which is a surprise because Mauricio, the current president of Argentina, I'll show you guys over here, you can see, okay, boom, we have had a massive crash, and the biggest reason why is because people weren't thinking that the populists were going to come back in any capacity. All right, they're a little bit more, let's say, national. They're a little bit like the nationalists here in the US or maybe over in the UK, and their ideologies are very different as to how they manage money. Okay, Argentina had a debt crisis back in 2005 where they had to restructure their debt. Otherwise, they would have had a collapse. And anytime you have a massive collapse in regards to a country's debt, I mean, you can basically say the economy goes to nothing. Look at Zimbabwe and look at Venezuela. Okay, those currencies are basically non-existent. So that was actually going to happen to Argentina, but they got to a point where they could start to restructure the debt, and it gave them a little bit of a footing. Okay, so right now, the populists, again, if these guys resurrect in a sense and come back into the forefront, you may start to see them think in regards to a weaker currency, right? You may start to see them start to do more restructuring in a bad capacity, in a worse off way than Mauricio, the current president, was going to implement. And so right now, again, with the economy not doing too hot, really all emerging markets in South America, again, not doing well, you can kind of imagine that when a regime comes into the picture that is in no way like rational in terms of globalization. All right, they want to do a lot more securitizing of their bonds and whatnot. We can talk about that. I've talked about securitizing bonds way back in 2018. I can put the link to that video down below. But overall, it's not a good move. And so anytime you have an election surprise, right? Anytime something massive just happens and no one was expecting it, there's a shock factor that happens to markets. And that is currently happening with the peso. So again, I want to show you guys what this Argentine peso looks like right now with the US dollar. So if you pull this up, look at this. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You can barely really see it represent itself on the actual chart. Because all emerging markets right now in South America, and I hate saying all, but most definitely are not performing well. Argentina is no different. And so I was on a 4-hour chart. That's how massive this price move actually was. Even if I go to a daily, you'll see that again, today, massive move. But the thing is, it's like, how do you get in on these type of trading opportunities? First of all, most of your brokers do not allow for the Argentine peso. Our broker did not allow us to trade in this currency here, right? We even was trying to scour what broker will allow that, and the only broker that we could find was an institutional broker where your minimum size you could put on the position was 5 standards. Okay, so the more basically exotic the currency, the more capital you have to play in that pair, right? So if we pull back, and I'll show you guys what's happening on the 45-minute chart. Okay, you guys can see that again, that entire move happened in really no time at all. So there wasn't really like an opportunity to catch the run. It doesn't happen like that. The second that news announcement came out, boom, markets immediately acclimated to where they thought that that would price the Argentine peso, and we are now here. So this is a prime example of, yeah, a fundamental catalyst, a fundamental move that maybe you couldn't take advantage of, but it is a prime example of how fundamentals shape all currency markets. Things like this happen from a sentiment standpoint every single day, where you can catch flow into a specific currency just by understanding the underlying, all right, the underneath, right, the back end information about what is going on with that economy. This is proof here. We're actually coming out with some segments later on this week where we're going to be showcasing the largest trades taken by traders in Forex using fundamentals, and you'll realize most of the big dogs are trading fundamentals. So that's just one thing I wanted to show you guys. This peso is very interesting. Not something you maybe can just immediately take advantage of, but there might be some ancillary stuff where maybe we can play the Mexican peso in some capacity along with this trade. So we're going to keep a lookout on that as well. Now, outside of that, so last week, the recap, when we were talking about the CHF and the Japanese yen, we were mentioning that, hey, these currencies could continue to the upside. That video is actually doing pretty well. We're about to cross 20,000 views in less than about 5 days or so, and people really took that in, and a lot of you guys were actually looking to start buying that CHF and that Japanese yen. And if you did, you're making money. All right, you're making money. Here, let's take a look at right now what the CHF is actually looking like. And if we pull back a bit, you'll notice that the CHF did break all-time highs today in today's markets. All right, so again, we're still getting that continuation that we were looking for. Let me roll the tape real quick, and I want to show you guys exactly what we were mentioning in regards to the opportunity on the CHF and the yen. Take a look right here. Why that is the case as well. All right, so here I want to show you guys real quick what we're looking like right now on the Japanese yen, just to give you guys a little bit of context. Okay, so if we pull over here and I take a look here at the Japanese yen index, what the heck is going on, right? So if I pull all the way back out, you guys can see this is the daily chart. Here on the Japanese index, we have just broken the all-time high, right, for 2019 for the JPY. Very, very interesting stuff. All right, so again, as mentioned in the video, if you guys were looking at those currencies to buy them, well then right now you'd be looking pretty good. And so we are still actively looking to continue to buy those pairs. And as we were mentioning again in the video, if you go take a look at it, we were talking about selling the NZD and selling the Aussie. We want to do that as well, right? They are right now inversely correlated. So we'll keep an eye on that also. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunity. We're going to be talking about a lot of really the more technical trades that we definitely know in terms of a buy, sell, and entry inside of the academy. But I want to give you guys one that we are looking at, really one of my favorites this week, which is this Euro USD play. Okay, and so we have our ideas about the euro. We have ideas about the dollar as well. They're partially vague because, you know, right now, think about it. We're lowering rates, right? But if I show you guys the dollar index, as we're lowering rates, what do you get? You get a dollar nearly at all-time highs, right, in 2019. This is the daily. If I show you guys what we're looking like here on the weekly, why, right? Why when you lower rates in the in an economy, an interest rate, apparently, right? I mean, in all book studies, okay, in all theory, you're supposed to what? Have the market pull back a bit. We're not really seeing that, all right? Apple Watch. We're not really seeing that, okay? We're seeing this market stabilize, right? So that's a little weird. But even outside of that, even though that is the case, when we take a look here at the Euro USD, all right, there is something that we like, all right? There's a structure that is really our bread and butter. And right now we're taking a look at this structure at the moment, and we're basically saying, okay, look, you know, something's got to happen. It's either going to break this low here, all right, or it's going to break the high. We all know that. Now, when it comes to probability of what is more likely to happen, that is our wheelhouse. We like to give, you know, some type of idea or hypothesis as to why would the market sell off rather than buy up. Because if we can come with any kind of predictable outcome that's better than 50-50, then we immediately have an edge. And our current edge here, which I'm not going to explicitly say, is us assuming that we're going to get a sell side break. Now, again, the fantastic thing is if we don't get that break and markets trade to the upside, well, are we in that trade? No, we're not. We're not, because our entry is probably going to go below the structure. So it's only if the market tests that structure, triggers us in, and then breaks the high that we might be in a little trouble. But we also have scenarios or implementation strategies where we won't probably put our entire size right here. Professional business of trading, it's called building a position. Okay, it's getting size into a position in a methodical fashion. All right, and so that is one pair there that we're taking a look at. So what are you guys looking at? What the hell do you guys think about this Argentine peso? We are basically shocked as to what is going on, and again, where this could go. We're also actively looking for a broker that might be able to allow us to put size in a safe broker. All right, we already talked about how much we hate shady brokers. We got to make sure it's safe, but outside of that, if we can play that, that'll be pretty cool in some capacity. So out of all the positions that we're looking at this week to trade, we give you guys the euro. Take that one. Let me know what you guys think of it. Play it if you like at your own risk. Okay. What do you guys think is going to happen? We're going to break to the upside here. Okay. Do you guys think we will be able to pull sell side in some capacity? Who knows what's going to happen, right? But what is going to happen is we want to start recording the position that we call out. So maybe we can give you guys a play-by-play. That might be extremely helpful to you guys as well, right? And so then just globally speaking, when it comes to the peso, when it comes to the yen, there's a lot going on. Again, if you guys have any questions regarding this trade war, if you guys got any questions regarding inflation right now happening in Argentina, comment down below. We'll help you guys out. If you guys still need a little bit of help on rationalizing fundamentals, just keep watching some of the videos on the YouTube, or just give us a call. You guys can head to the link in the bio and schedule a call to talk with the senior traders here at the Academy. Okay, so let's see what happens to this euro. I'm excited. This week is going to be really packed with some massive fundamentals. Guys, trade safe. Talk to you guys soon.